Shalom, Mambo, Habari, greetings, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for tuning in. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. Thank you to all my faithful subscribers. Welcome to my channel. Thank you to my new subscribers. I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel and welcome in the room. I decided to do a video today, and today is Monday, July 29th. And um, this is the day for me to do a video. So yeah, I posted in my community tab, and I'm not gonna harp on it too long, but I posted in my community tab how YouTube decided that they don't want to monetize me because they said my content is harmful. It's harmful, so it's harming people. So yeah, me encouraging people to come to Africa, to move to Tanzania, to leave America, Babylon, aka America, aka Babylon, mystery Babylon, as you know, as in the biblical scriptures, to leave that wicked place and to move to Mama Africa. This is for the diaspora throughout the four corners of the earth. And I'm encouraging you to come back home to Mama Africa. I have been living in Tanzania for 4 years this year, and this is for the new people who are new to the channel. So yeah, I moved from America and now I live in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, and I've been here for 4 years this year. So yeah, so I said I'm still going to do videos because my purpose for this YouTube channel and being here is to assist my brothers and sisters that live in the West if they are interested in moving back. Then I am here for you. I do consultations. I do travel and business consultations. If you're interested in visiting, you can hit me up if you want some pointers. Most people can go online and find the information that you need about how to prepare for the visit, but I give you little insider pointers of how to what to say when you're coming in, what to do, what you need to get, your multi visa and et cetera, et cetera. I just give you little pointers of transportation, areas you should, stay in, just different pointers, being that you have never, especially if you have never visited the country and you're coming for the first time. So, of course, you start off with a passport. You must have a passport in order to travel here outside of the U.S. or any country that you are a citizen of. You have to get a passport. So that's the first thing. Get your passport so you can travel wherever you would like to travel. So that's a bit of freedom that you have as a citizen right now. Things may change in the near future, but right now you are eligible. You're a citizen, so you are able to travel internationally. So yeah, so that is something that I think all people in the West, especially if you're of Afro descent or African descent, you should not limit yourself. You should always have a passport so you can go ahead and travel the world if that's what you want to do. If you want to come back to Africa, this is where you originate. All African people, Black people, originate from Africa. Whether you're indigenous to these other European countries, you still came from the motherland. So you originate from the motherland. So, yeah, so it's the oldest continent. So come on back if that's something you're interested in doing. As far as staying here, of course, you need some streams of income. You need to figure out how you are able to sustain yourself if you do decide to come. Um, whether it's an online job, whether it's several online gigs, whether it's a business, online business, whether it's, YouTube monetization, which, some people do. That's just at least a start. I mean, I don't think that that should be your only form of income. Your goal is to set up streams of income for yourself. So that should be something that you should be doing, whether you leave the country or not. Just streams of income. Working for one business or one company is not the most secure way to live right now, because any day they could come in and be like, they can end your assignment, they can terminate you, especially if you're living an at will state. So they can fire you for anything. So you should always aim to have other streams of income, whether it's an online business. If you live in America, create an online business, sell some products, use your skills and talents and gifts that you have to try to make money for yourself. And that's one thing that I have learned since I've been over here in Africa. I've learned to tap into my own skills, my own personal abilities to create streams of income for myself. So I did create a business. It's called Diaspora Connect LLC in Tanzania. It's a consultation business, but and I did partner with a local. So I have two local partners and me and my son. So it's four of us as directors of the company. And when you do that, you can open up to a certain number of businesses under partners. So if you have one partner, you can open up to four businesses underneath your company. So that's a good way to expand your business, which is what I'm working on as well. You start off with one in one area, and then you can always expand your business here. So that's a great thing, great opportunity. As well as when you create a business, you partner with the local, you can also get a work permit and residency in order to stay. There are different permits to stay here, different residency permits that you can look into based on your specific reason for being here. If you want to come here to do business, you get, it'll be based on your business. If you want to be an investor, you can get it based on that. If you are retired, you have income, you can get it. I think the retirement, so-called retirement visa, is for people with income. So even somebody that is not retirement age, but they have income, they can actually apply for that also. So it's an income, basically it's an income-based permit. Um, so, um, so yeah, that is kind of what the channel is about, which is, I guess, YouTube is saying it's harmful. Um, and there are things that I have seen on YouTube that are harmful, that do encourage people to do things to themselves and to other people and to, yeah, yeah. So, but, you know, what's harmful to some may not be harmful to others. Telling the truth, encouraging people to come out of captivity, encouraging my people to come out of captivity. I assume that to some people they would consider that harmful. So I get it, I get it, but it's not going to stop. So they're like, oh, change your titles of your videos and or delete. I'm not doing that. I did have one video that I did delete, and I forget which one it was. It was a little harsh, so I did delete that one. But the other ones basically are, and when I say harsh, I'm speaking like truth, truth, truth. Sometimes the truth is hurtful or harmful to some people because some people who love lies, they don't like the truth. They're lovers. They love lies, so they're not lovers of the truth. So when you speak truth, they get very angry and they get very upset and they get very, they'll get violent. Like, yeah. So people do get angry when you speak the truth, especially when it affects them and it touches them some kind of way. I'm talking about a whole nation of people that have been enslaved in America, taken in captivity and enslaved to serve another country. I'm waking them up to tell them to come on out of there. Like, you don't have to stay there. Bring your dollars over here. It's why it's still um, why the value is still okay. The U.S. dollar value is still valuable. You know, come, even if you don't come to Tanzania, there are 54 countries on the continent of Africa. I'm encouraging any African American or Afro British or in Jamaica, Jamaicans, Haitians, wherever you're from, Brazilians, and our people throughout the European countries, come back to Africa. You can actually get you some land, own the land. You don't have to pay taxes every year. You own the land. Um, and it depends on the country you go to. There are some countries where foreigners can outright buy land, like Ghana or Kenya or Southern Africa. But then there are some countries where you have to create a business. You have to be an investor in order to purchase land under the business. So foreigners can't, here in Tanzania, foreigners can't own land, but they can purchase land under a business if they invest in certain companies that are already in existence. If you invest and buy certain shares in that company, then you can also go ahead and purchase land. because you're an investor. So as an investor, you can do so. And so you have to make your decision of what you want to do. If you are retired, you can go ahead and get a retirement permit, but you can't also have a business permit. So you have to decide what you want to do. You want to do business, then you get the business permit. And if you're a retired person, it yeah, I think you'll have to have a permit to do business, even if you're retired. So even if you decide that you want to get a retirement permit, just decide if you want to do business. So if you get a retirement permit and stay for 2 years, and then after 2 years you realize that you want to do business, then you create a business, and then when it's time to renew your permit, you just go ahead and get a business permit instead of the retirement permit. So yeah, because you can only get like one permit. You can't have different ones so, at a time. So they're good for 2 years at a time. So you can always, after 2 years, do something different, get a different permit if that's something that you want to do. But the purpose of this video today is actually I wanted to share with you guys. I have my phone here. I wanted to share with you how I want to share with you the time that I heard the audible voice of the Most High. If you don't know who the Most High is, He is the uncreated creator. He is the one people call God. The Christians call Him God. He's the uncreated creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Almighty. He has many names. So I wanted to share with you the time that I heard His audible voice. I actually heard the audible voice of the Most High. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm not sure if it was the Messiah. People call His name Jesus, Yeshua, Yesiah. Um, I I'm not sure if it was Uzziah or I think it was the Father. I believe it was the Father. For some reason, in my spirit, I was just like, this is the Father. I don't know, but anyway, it was the audible voice. Like I actually heard a voice. So, and it's weird because when I heard right after I heard His voice, I woke up to the truth about who I really was. Like some months later, I woke up to the truth about we are the children of Israel. Our ancestors were the ones that was taken into slavery in Egypt. And when Moses went to set the Israelites, Most High told Moses to go into Egypt and set his people free. Those are ancestors. Those are descendants. So we are the real 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel are alive today, and they're not done away with. They exist. It's 12 tribes. And yeah, so I found all this out after I heard this audible voice. So at the time, I was what you call a Christian. At the time, I was a Christian, going to church, all that. Call myself a Christian. The thing about Christianity versus us being in the truth, and I'm going to go through that real kind of quick before I tell you what happened. The difference is when you're a Christian in Christianity. First of all, the Messiah never called himself a Christian. The Israelites, when actually the Romans gave the people who follow Christ the name Christian. And, people who follow Christ, they gave them that name Christian. The Romans gave them that name. They never called themselves Christians. Thus, most of us that come into the truth and realize that we're part of the 12 tribes, we don't call ourselves Christians because that's a religion. Israelite is a bloodline. It's a bloodline. It's your DNA. So it's a lifestyle. It's not a religion. Some people make it into somewhat. They have the different traditional things that they do, but for the most part, it's a bloodline. It's who we are, our DNA, right? So that's the difference in being an Israelite versus being a Christian. Also, in Christianity, they celebrate different holidays that are not in the Bible. So Christians celebrate like pagan holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. All those are pagan. If you look back on the origin of those holidays, they're based on paganism. So Israelites in the Bible never, in Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, Messiah, he never celebrated the pagan holidays. Even when he was walking the earth, he celebrated the Sabbath. He celebrated the feast days in the Bible, the ones listed in the Bible, feasts of wheat, Passover, all the different. It's like 6 or 7 feast days in the Bible. So he celebrated those. So those are the holidays that we celebrate, the 12 tribes, the ones who are awakened to the truth. We jumped off that paganism bandwagon with the Christianity, and now we celebrate the actual holidays or feast days. We call them feast days in the biblical scriptures. So these are feast days that are physically listed, and then it tells you, describes in the Bible how you're supposed to celebrate, you know, uh, tabernacles, Passover, Feast of Trumpets, Feast of Dedication. Like, it names the different feasts and how you should celebrate them. Those are the ones that we as Israelites celebrate. We do not celebrate the pagan Christian feasts. So another thing that is that we don't do the way Christians do. That's why we don't call ourselves Christians anymore. We used to. A lot of us came into the truth out of Christianity. So like me, I was a Christian, devout. And then when I found out the truth, when the Father revealed to me who I really was, and I came out of the paganism into living for real my it's my culture, basically. It's a bloodline thing, so it's not a religion. That's why a lot of us, we don't go to church. We stop going to the Sunday pagan, because it's pagan. The first day is the Sabbath is the seventh day, and so it's not Sunday, which is the first day. And so and now it's a little um, even within the Israelite community. We celebrate the Sabbath on different days. Some of us, we look at the luminaries, which is what I do, which we consider the sun, the moon, and the stars all in determining when the Sabbath is. So it's not, for me, it started off every Saturday, but then it's like I started evolving into thinking about how did our ancestors know when the Sabbath was, when they didn't have the Gregorian calendar. They didn't have any kind of calendar to watch. They went by what was in the sky. They looked at the moon, the sun, the moon, and stars. Same way when the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus, was born, the wise men saw the star in the sky and they followed the star to where he was. So they didn't have like a calendar and all that. They went by the luminaries, the sun, the moon, and the stars, all of them. Not just the moon. We don't do sun worship or moon worship. Some people think because you consider the moon in your what day you follow the Sabbath that you are worshiping the moon. We already know that all of this are all these are signs from the Most High. This creation is, we don't worship creation, we worship the Creator, because the Most High is the one that created the luminaries as a sign for us of the times. So we do consider that, but we don't worship it. So I want to make that clear. But anyway, another a reason we had to get out of Christianity is because the dietary law, we have certain dietary laws that we must follow as Israelites. So we are not supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, none of that. We only supposed to eat um, uh, certain animals that are clean. And in the book of Leviticus, it names the animals that are clean and the animals that are unclean. So we're not supposed to eat certain animals. Like in Christianity, you eat everything. Christianity, they eat pork, raccoon, deer, all that different stuff. Um, as Israelites, we don't eat all that stuff. We have a dietary law that we follow, that we must follow. So, and definitely pork is definitely a no-no. Shrimp, crab, and lobster, all that's a no-no as well. And so it's a lot of things that as Christians that we used to eat. But when we came into the truth, we realized that those are unclean and we cannot eat unclean animals. It makes us unclean and it can kill our bodies too. It's not good for your health. a lot of these animals that we were eating in Christianity. So we had to come out of her, which is even Christianity will be considered pagan, considering us as Israelites. Now, for other nations outside of Israel, outside of the children of Israel, you are not held to the standard that we are. This law and the Bible was given to us as Israelites because we are the chosen of the Most High. We are the 12, part of the 12 tribes. So the Bible was given to us specifically. Now, if you are outside of the children of Israel, like other nations, you got your, they got their own gods. They got the Buddha, they got the all the other stuff that they worship, the Indians with all them gods, and they got their own gods, their own dietary laws, the only stuff that they follow. But we, as children of Israel, we have ours, and ours is the most high. We're the most highest portion, so we have to follow these laws and rules in the Bible. We can follow other nations, but when we do that, those other nations will um, enslave us. So when you worship God, other small g gods outside of the Most High, the one that created us, then you become slaves to that religion or to that nation. So you go under them. They become rulers over you as Israelites, us. So we have to make sure that we come out of her. So we can't be following paganism. So that's what Christianity is in reality. Not the part that you know and that you call the Messiah Jesus is the Son of the Most High, and then you have the set apart Spirit or the Holy Spirit. We believe those same, because anything that's in the Bible we do believe. It's just the things that are not in the Bible we can't subscribe to them. Basically, we'll be out of the will and we'll be in sin as Israelites. So we have to, when we find out the truth, we have to change our lifestyle. We have to change how we live and what we do. So that's basically all of it in a nutshell. I was a Christian. So you see the difference in Christianity versus one other major difference was, as in Christianity, we were taught by a lot of the pastors that we are Hamites. All through Christianity, as far as I can remember, we were taught that we were Hamites and stuff like that, but we're not. We're not Hamites. So the teaching that we got was not true. So it was a lie. But a lot of the people that taught us these things, that's what they were taught. Like in seminary, they're taught these type of things that we are Hamites and we were cursed, and that's why we were enslaved. But that's not true. We're not Hamites. We are Israelites from the line of Shem. And so the reason that we were enslaved is because we fell into idolatry. We fell into sin. We start following these other nations and worshiping their gods. Like for me, I'm an Israelite. If I go to China and I start worshiping their Buddha and doing all that stuff, I will become under submission to that nation. So basically, I will be a slave to them because that's not our Father. That's not our creator. That's not our God, basically. And I can't think of another word. He's not our Elohim. I would say that. That's their small g. That's their gods. It's not ours. So we have to come out of her. We have to come out of all these different religions and we have to start living our true bloodline lifestyle. And that's Israelite. So that was all of it in a nutshell. The reason a lot of us are coming out of the so-called, Christianity, because the teachings are not correct. And whether they know it or not, the Most High is waking up his people, his children, his true children, to the truth about who we are and why we are in the predicament that we're in. He's waking us up to the truth. So now that we know the truth, we have to change our lifestyle. We have to change our thinking. We have to come out of idolatry. Idolatry was the main reason why we went into captivity. We start putting things before the Most High, the undercreated, creative, the Almighty. When I say that, I mean, you're not supposed to put nothing before him. No husband, no wife, no children, no political party, no nothing. You're not supposed to put nothing, food, nothing, sex. You're not supposed to put nothing before the Most High. Anything you put before the uncreated creator is idolatry. and he's very jealous. He's very jealous. And yeah, he don't allow that. And that's why we went into captivity, our ancestors to begin with, because of idolatry. So now that we are awakened and we know the truth, we're not gonna go back and do that. So we don't put anything and anybody or anything before the most high. Nothing. I don't care if it's blue, the blue political party, the red one. I don't care who it is. I don't care what color their skin is. I don't care if it's your spouse, your children. You don't put anything before the most high. Because when you do, a lot of times you can lose that. You can lose that. If you start putting human beings before him, he can take them away. So if you idolize your husband or your wife or your children, then something can happen to them. So you don't want to put anything before the most high. You want to make sure that his words ring true in your life. If the Most High is telling you to do something by His word. If you read in the word, thou shalt not, blah 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 blah. You might read something that He tells you not to do, but your spouse is telling you to do something outside of what the scriptures say. Then that's a problem. You do need to pray, and the Most High will tell you how to work through, soften that person's heart, whatever the case might be. But you have to address it. You can't just ignore it and not talk to the Most High about this issue that you have going on, right? So anyway, this is when, back to my reason for doing the video. I wanted to share with you when I had first heard the audible voice of the Most High. So I'm a Christian. I'm at home. I used to uh, sing on the praise team at the church I went to, right? So when I was living in Colorado, I used to be one of the praise singers. And so I was in church and just, singing songs, whatever. And even though I was asleep, when I say asleep, I didn't know who I really was. I was a Christian. Christian. So I'm asleep. And so started trying to live a righteous life, cut off all the relationships that I had that wasn't righteous, and just trying to live holy and righteous and getting rid of this, changing how I dress and all kind of stuff. So I'm sleeping, and I feel like in between sleeping awake, waking up, because it was like early in the morning. So I heard a voice, and I couldn't tell if I was asleep or awake, but I heard a voice in my ear. Normally, when the Father speaks to me, it's in my spirit. Like I hear a voice inside of me. It's like I hear it in my spirit, and I just hear a voice, and I could just hear it reverberating throughout my body, but it's like within me. But this audible voice was outside because I heard the voice in my ears. So I'm asleep, and I heard a male voice, and it was a deep voice, almost that Barry White voice, like what do you call the guy? Uh, a lot of us know the heavy masculine. I always say Barry White because I tell my age, but Morgan Freeman. I don't know, somebody with a deep, heavy voice. So I heard a heavy male voice, but the voice was very. It was calm. Like I wasn't startled. It was very calm, but it was very like a father, like I can't think another word, but it's like your father's calling you, and you're like a child. You're a little girl, and you're sleeping. Your father's calling you. It's like that deep, calm voice. So you're not afraid. You're not afraid, but it's a heavy male voice. And when I say that the voice went through me, I heard the voice and I heard it in my ears. So it wasn't inside of me, it was outside of me. I heard it like outside. So I'm asleep, and so the voice was so loud, and it called my name so calmly. It was like Wanda. Like it called my name. I said it. He called my name so calmly. So in between waking up, sleep waking up, I woke myself up because I woke up out of the dream saying, I'm answering. But I said, like that. Like, like, when you answer somebody, that sometimes we do that. When somebody calls you, it's like, I was doing that in my dream. I woke up saying, And when I opened my eyes, it was nobody there. There was nobody there. And I'm looking around like I know I heard a male's voice. Ain't no man in here. And so that's when I knew. Well, at the time, I wasn't sure, but I couldn't stop thinking about them. Like I heard a voice, and it just was so. It's almost like the scriptures say, the Most High's voice is like many waters. It was like that. It was so over. The voice covered my whole. It just covered the whole atmosphere. It was like that. It was like this voice reverberated through the atmosphere, and it was a heavy voice, but it was calm and it was peaceful. I felt like real peaceful, but it was a heavy voice. I could tell it was a male's voice. And I was like, did the Father just call my name? Like he said my name. And I was just like in shock. And so a couple of months later, that's when I woke up to the truth about who we really were. Um, I had turned on my computer and I saw these guys teaching the truth. And they had mitris on, so they had their head wrapped. And I was like, are these Muslims? I didn't know. I didn't know anything about like the Israelites. So they were teaching, and I was listening, and the name of the guys was GOCC, Gathering of Christ Church. And how they popped up on my computer was I had been watching Christian videos. I was watching, most of my content that I was watching was Christian stuff. So because the title of their assembly is the Gathering of Christ Church, they popped up in my feed. So I'm looking, I'm like, who are these brothers? They had their head mitris on. I didn't know what they was. I was like, are they Muslims? So I started listening to them, and they were reading the Bible. And so I was like, they reading the Bible. They not Muslims. So they was reading, and they was, had the different style. The guy read, they were doing that. So I'm listening to them, and I'm like, they are talking about the scriptures. And shortly after I heard that voice, that's when they popped into my feed, and I started watching them. So I started taking notes, and I started learning about who we really are. And basically, that's how I woke up to the truth about who we really are, who we really are. And then also, right before I heard that voice, or did I hear that voice after? I think I heard the Most High's voice. And then one time, and I want to share this. I was at church and I was singing on the choir. I was singing. I was singing on the praise team. It was like six of us, I think. So I'm sitting up there and I'm singing. We worshiping. We have this, worshiping and praising the Most High. And then I heard a voice. I had like a conversation going on in my head while I'm singing. I'm worshiping the Most High, right? But I'm having this conversation in my head. So I heard a voice that said, you're not from America. I heard a voice in my head that said that. And I knew it wasn't me because I wasn't even thinking about something like that, right? A voice said, you're not from America. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, well, where am I from? I was saying that like in my head, where am I from? And the voice said, you're from Africa. And so I was like, Africa? I was like, I don't know anybody. And I was saying, I don't know nobody in Africa. And then the voice went silent. Silent. I didn't hear anything else. But all this is going on while I'm supposed to be like up here. What not supposed to be, but I'm up here worshiping the Most High in front of people. And he's starting to talk to me on stage in the midst of that. And so after that, that's when I started doing research on Africa because I was like, I don't know anything about Africa. And that's when I started doing research and I started looking up stuff. And I was like, I don't know where to begin. And then my thought came to my mind, just go start visiting different places. And so that was back in I think it's 2016 is when I woke up to the truth about who I am. And then I went to visit Ghana in year return, 2018, 2019, 2018. I scheduled a trip to go visit Ghana. I was like, well, this is the opportunity because I was trying to figure out where to go, where to begin. And then that's when this whole, year return thing came up. And it just was perfect timing. I went to visit Ghana. I stayed there for 2 weeks. Then I came back to America, and then that's when I knew I was like, yeah, I have to move over there. I don't know how, but I have to. And at that point, I was planning in my mind, praying, trying to see how I'm gonna get these finances together so I'll be able to move. And lo and behold, COVID hit in 19, yeah, COVID hit in 19. No, COVID hit in 20. COVID hit in 2020, and after I got back in 2018, and then I planned another trip in 2019, but I was going to go to South Africa to visit. I was just going to visit different countries to see which country resonated with me. And then COVID hit, and they canceled my trip 3 times. And then finally, I found out, of course, like most of us, Tanzania was open. And so Tanzania was open. So I decided to well, I asked the airline. I was with Qatar at the time, and I was asking them if they could change my South Africa ticket to Tanzania, and so they was like, "Well, yeah, of course." They said we have a hub in Dar, and so I was like, "Oh, perfect." So they changed my ticket from Southern Africa to Tanzania, which was the only country open, and so that's when I came. Like I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about T shillings. I didn't know anything about Swahili. I didn't know anything about nothing. I didn't know nothing, y'all. I came on a whim. I said, you know what? As people was asking me, do you know anybody in Tanzania? I was like, no. I said, but I'm gonna go. I take my chances. And so I came by myself, and it was only one girl that I knew online that was here before I got here. And when I got here, I was, recording it. Yeah, I'm in Tanzania. And another thing is, it was a guy that I knew on Facebook from Southern Africa. He connected me to a brother here in Tanzania. He's like, I got a brother that's in the truth that believe how we do. One of the 12 tribes. I'm gonna connect him to you. He can help you. So I contacted him when I arrived at the airport. He didn't hardly know that much English, but he met me at the airport. He took me to my hotel. He checked me in. He talked for me. He did everything for me. He made sure he checked up on me, made sure I had anything I needed, ATM, mosquito cream. The mosquitoes was biting me. Anything that I needed, he made sure that I had everything I needed. And he was also going to help me find a place as well. Because I was in a hotel and I was like, I think I'm going to stay longer because I wasn't sure how long it would be before Southern Africa opened up. I was just going to, when it opened up, I was just going to leave Tanzania and just go to Southern Africa. So I had an apartment by the airport, which a lot of the diaspora don't stay by the airport because it's a really local area and they don't speak hardly any English. They don't speak any English over there. So I was in a hotel, nobody spoke English but me. And I had to do sign language. But after 2 weeks, I would start picking up pretty quickly, and they start picking up on me, and it was a nice experience. I loved it. Yeah, and then start meeting some other Americans who were mainly on the around the peninsula is where all of us are because it's more of an international area. So that's when I was looking for a place over on that side. And so that is kind of my story. I was doing a video because I wanted to share with you when I heard the audible voice of the Father, but ended up me telling you my testimony of how I came here, how I arrived here. And then when the countries did open back up, uh, I was already loving Tanzania. I was like, oh, I love this place. Like, this place is paradise. Like, this place is beautiful. And so I've been here ever since. 4 years down the line, I created a business of my own in 2021, consultation business called Diaspora Connect, LLC here in Tanzania, where I do travel and business consultations. I do referrals as well. So if I refer you to a certain business or company, then I do that as well. And I help our people in whatever way I can based on my experience and things I've done. So since I created a business and I have all the tools necessary for people, if they want to do that, then I charge for consultation and I share the in-depth information that I have in terms of how to set up a business. And me, I'm in the process of purchasing land, all praises to the Most High. And so finally found the perfect area that I'm interested in, and I'm in the process of doing that right now. So all praises. I am starting off small and then I'll work my way up. So because it's since still a new country, and I just want to make sure that everything is goes through smoothly, no hiccups, no problems. And when you start off small, it's always good because if you start off with a small amount, starting off small, then you can always add to what you've done when everything is, all the process is seamlessly done and completed. So once the process of this first purchase is seamless and everything is smooth, then you can always add to what you already set up. So that's kind of the idea that I'm going with. But yeah, once everything is smooth and set up, then I'll go from there to expand the business and do more to help some diaspora. Now, for me, it's kind of exclusive in terms of what I'm going to do with certain people. I have to be very specific in who I choose to work with. I can't work with everybody because of drama and trauma and all that coming from the West. So you have to be somebody that's mean business. You really want to, stay here. You want to do business and you want to work with like-minded people. But if you're here for drama and all this confusion and all that, then, I have to pass on that. So yes, it's going to have to be exclusive. I have to be exclusive in who I share personal information with. Now, I'll do consultations and business and travel consultations with anyone that pays for a consultation. But when it comes to my personal business dealings, it's going to be with people that I vet, people that I choose to work with, and it's not everybody. So just know that, based on the experience that have had since I've been here, you have to use discernment and be very even discreet and a little bit more private. I'm learning that. I mean, I'm even considering the fact that YouTube is saying my content is harmful. So if they're doing that, I mean, imagine me sharing um, too much personal stuff on here. People can use that against you. So I'm very mindful and always reminded by the Most High to share general stuff, but like really specific details, like I used to share. I won't be doing that unless I choose to do that, and it's going to be personal. It's not going to be online. It's going to be when someone physically is here and I meet with them, and if we vibing and if we on the same page and we we have that same like mindedness, then I will share more details of how things can be done based on what I've seen here and based on my experience of being here and doing business. So yeah, but my company, it's not a big company. It's a small business and it's not making the most money, y'all. I'm not rolling in the dough for sure, but it's been sustaining me for 4 years. And that's the main reason that I did create it. So I'll have some streams of income in between the other things that I do. So I do other things as well. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share this video with you. And I wanted to my main purpose was to share with you when I heard the audible voice of the Most High, but it went into my testimony of coming here because there are many new people that have subscribed to my channel, and I wanted to give them my story. So yes, born and raised in America, from Milton, New Jersey. I moved to Atlanta, lived in Atlanta most of my adult life, was married for 13 years, and then got divorced and then moved to Colorado, and I lived there for 6 years. And then I came here. And so, yeah, um, that is my story right now. And I am on this journey of trying to get this land, trying to get some fruit and vegetables in the ground, trying to get some uh, roof over our head so when things get rough, we'll have shelter here in Tanzania. And I can show you how to do the same thing. It's possible, but of course you have to do. You have to follow a certain protocol, a certain process in order for you to uh, get the things that you want. And for me, my advice is always set up a business if you want to buy land. Most of us want to buy land. It doesn't matter where we go. We want to. So go ahead and set up a business. Um, if you partner with a local, it won't be as expensive as if you set up a business outside of, just by yourself. It's going to be way too, you have to have a lot of money to do that, 500,000 or something. So you partner with the local, it won't cost you as much. Yes, they will have 51%, you'll have 49%, but that's just shares. It's not assets, it's not income, right? Your assets and your income and your revenue It's not 51% of that for them. It's just 51% of the shares in the company, making the company a local company, since they have one more share, two more shares more than you. So yeah, so that's kind of what it is. So it's not like somebody's going to be taking anything from you. You are the CEO. You control operations. You make sure that when you set your business up, your paperwork, you speaking with your attorney, they will set your memorandum of understanding, your documents up as such as you, the CEO. You control operations, and then your locals or managers or whatever. And so nobody's taking anything from you. You make the sole decision. So it's safe. It's safe. Some people think it's not safe. It's safe. It's safe. But shaking hands with someone is not as safe. Getting things in other people's name, that's not as safe. Because when you do those things, people can change on you. People can die. If people die and you shake somebody's hand and you don't do a legal business, then the family can come and take everything that's in that partner's name, that loved one's name. So it doesn't matter if he was your friend, you shook hands, y'all made agreement. Now the family ain't gonna know that. They just gonna go to the lands commission and see everything that's in that partner's name, and they're gonna take everything that belongs to their loved one. And also, if that person turns on you, if you don't create a business and do it the legal way, and you try to shake hands and do it backdoor ways, if they turn on you, then they can take everything that you have. So it's something that you take a chance with anything, but like my attorney told me, and I will never forget this. He told me when I first registered my business, and or attorney, they call them advocates here. He told me, he said the safest route for a foreigner in this country is to create a business. This is the way that they can secure their assets. So the way that you can secure your assets, make sure that nothing's stolen from you or whatever, is through a business. You have to create a business if you want to purchase land. So under your business, you'll be purchasing the land under your business, which you'll be renting it, of course. But for however, whatever the terms that you decide, 99 years, 35 years, 55 years, whatever, you be renting the land, but it'll be under your business. So you're buying the land under your business. So yeah, but that's how it's done here. So but anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all my favorite subscribers. Please do me a favor and thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Put me some comments in. We can chit chat, go back and forth. I do accept donations if you want to bless your sister. I have Cash App. I'll put the information in the description box. I have PayPal. I have a land and building project. So I'm finalizing the paperwork with purchasing, and then I'm going to start building. So if you want to help me, you can donate to my land and building project. It's a GoFundMe account. I've had that since 21. I was trying to raise like $10,000. So because you can get a structure built, a small structure. So for me, I'm starting off small. You can get a small structure built for like, yeah, about 10,000, something like that. Maybe less than that, but you know, but just a small structure to start. Because once you do, for me, once I do that one thing, get the land, build a structure, and I see the process, then at that point I'll be more comfortable with doing bigger and better things. But for me, I like to start off small, especially if it's my first time. Especially in a different country, my first time like purchasing land or doing different stuff. I like to take my time and start off really small. So in case something happens, it won't be a massive loss. You started off small, it might be a little bit, but I start off small with that little, and if that little thing pans out, everything is smooth. The process, then I got the blueprint. Then I can go from there, and do bigger projects, bigger, bigger, bigger. So that's kind of what uh, that's the way I'm moving here. As you can see, I started the business back in 21, and I'm just now in the process of purchasing after all this time. But for me, I wanted to wait. I didn't want to rush into anything because at the time I was by myself, and I had to be the one to um, discern and filter through people and see what the Most High was saying and wait on Him. And, because it's a lot of praying and waiting, especially when it's just you. You have to wait on the Most High because one bad decision can cost you a lot. So I wasn't trying to rush into doing anything, but now I feel like the time is right and I found what I'm looking for. So I'm proceeding forward. So with your blessing, with your help, you can bless your sister. Um, but yeah, all is well. I'm still doing what I've been doing since I've been here. Yeah, so I'll do another video in the next couple of days. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And please do me a favor again, thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll do another video in the next couple of days. So I'm going to say, Eddie, that's goodbye. I'm going to say, Salama, Shalom, peace, family, and I see you guys in the next video.